Hello, welcome to episode 86 of the Epic Film Challenge 2, 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die, 1977's Suspiria, directed by Dario Argento, and this is a giallo film. Never knew what that was. Heard the term many times before, a giallo film, and apparently it's kind of horror films that were made in Italy that have some sort of, they're kind of thrillers, you know. And it's a very kind of loose term, giallo, but either way, an Italian horror film here, and this is a very interesting one, least of all because I was trying to figure out what version to watch. There's an English version and an Italian version, so I thought, well, obviously I'm going to watch the original version, but apparently the English track is superior, and also most of the characters in the film are speaking in English. There's an American lead actress in the film, so I thought, okay, then I'll watch the English. But then there's other times where you can see they're not speaking English and it's dubbed over, and of course a lot of films in Italy, no sound was recorded when they made the film, and so it's all dubbed over anyway. So there were moments where some of the secondary characters, the dubbing on their voices was not very good, like it wasn't even matching the mouth movements that much. But for the main characters at least, it was done well, and so I guess the English version is the way to go. My cat is staring at me like I'm about to kill her or something. Anyway, the film, I mean, wow. I was blown away by this. I really wasn't expecting too much, wasn't sure what I was going to make of it, and didn't know what kind of tone to expect at all. Really, I've never seen an Argento film. I don't think I've ever seen an Italian horror film before, so this is completely new territory to me, and I loved it. I loved it. The way that it was filmed, very stylish, you know, lots of really interesting lighting, like really stark, like blood red lighting, and then deep blues, and sometimes it won't even make that much sense. There'll just be a room that's lit in red and all these different colours and things. And it's very vibrant, and even the blood in the film was just this bright red. I don't know if it's something to do with maybe censorship or something. If you have blood that's so bright red that it's not real blood, that maybe they can get away with more. I don't know. I know there's that whole kind of black and white rule where if you have blood in black and white, it's not seen as offensive, which is ridiculous to me. You know, like Kill Bill, Quentin Tarantino had to kind of cut off a large section of a big fight scene and put it all in black and white to kind of get past the censors, which again is ridiculous to me. You can see it's blood, so it's blood, you know, regardless of what colour it looks like on screen. Anyway, the blood in the film, Suspiria, was bright red, and it was a bit over the top, and you could tell how fake it was, but I liked how it seemed to fit the kind of the style of the film. It was this overly stylistic kind of over the top kind of feeling film. It felt a bit unreal at times, you know, and it's not very much a grounded film, so it really fit. And the beginning, we see this American dancer, this young girl called Susie. She comes into Germany to go to a school to learn to dance, and well, not to learn to dance, but I guess to build upon her dancing skills. I think the teacher says that everyone we accept in the school already knows how to dance, but I'm here to refine that and to kind of, I guess, make them into a more polished dancer. And so she goes to this dance school in Germany, and as soon as she arrives, one of the girls has been expelled, been kicked out, and she gets brutally murdered. And the murder scene, like, holy shit, like, it's intense, it really is, and it's not just a one and done. You see this girl get mutilated, and I tell you what, if you, I mean, I've seen worse, but it was really graphic, and it's weird to say, but it's one of the most graphic kind of murder scenes, violent scenes I've ever seen, where I really kind of enjoyed it. I don't know, there was something about it that, I don't know, it was kind of, I appreciated the effects. Like, it's a real gruesome murder, and it kicks things off, you know, as it means to go on. I think it was really quite a spectacular murder scene, and it left me wondering, what the hell, like, where is this film going? So Susie arrives at this dance school, and very soon she realizes that things are not what they seem, and weird things are going on. Now, you have to kind of give way to the conceit of this film and the conceit of many horror films where, you know, a family arrives at a haunted house, bad stuff starts happening, why don't they just move, leave, you know, they never leave, you know. And the same in this one, you know, Susie, as soon as she arrived, she should have been like, right, a girl just left this school and was murdered brutally 20 minutes later. I'm out here, I'm gone. But she stays, of course, and she kind of tries to figure out what's going on. And that's kind of the film, and more kind of murders take place and so on. That's all I'm going to say about the plot of the film. I really enjoyed where it went. There was a couple of scenes, you know, like there's one scene towards the end that just felt like needless exposition, but it wasn't. Well, it was needed. No, take that back. It was needed exposition. You needed this backstory, I suppose, to kind of tie into the end of the film. But it just felt out of nowhere. Like, okay, now I'm going to go over here to this guy I've never met before, and he's going to tell me about this, and then he's going to call over another guy, and he's going to tell me about this. It could have been weaved into the story a little bit better, I feel like, because I had no idea who the guy was, who she suddenly met. You know, she just moved to Germany, and within like a couple of weeks, she just goes and meets this guy she never met before. Maybe I missed a scene earlier and I just wasn't paying attention, I don't know. And the acting is not brilliant, especially the lead actress. I mean, she was okay, you know, she was serviceable. And in these horror films, you have to treat them for what they are, horror films. And the primary goal is to creep people out, to scare them, to thrill them. And I think that film worked. I mean, I'll always say that I'm not scared by many films, and I don't say that to brag. You know, there's only 2 films I can say that really have scared me, and that was The Omen when I was a teenager, and The Shining. You know, just that old naked woman. Holy shit, the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it really creeps me out. And this film, it came close. It came close to scaring me at one point, you know, but it definitely creeped me out, and I think my imagination was building up towards the end more than what we actually saw. But that was kind of cool, and I think that one of the final scenes of the film, when Susie is trying to kind of get to the source of what's going on, and she's going through this hallway, and it's this curved hallway, like, oh my god, and the music by this band called Goblin, incredible. I loved the score of this film. It's kind of repetitive. They keep using the same kind of motifs and themes throughout, but I loved the kind of the I guess electronic kind of synthy kind of score. Amazing. I really loved it. It was just really cool. It fit the look of the film, you know, and the visual feel of it. And then yeah, that ending scene when she's walking down that curved corridor, and I was just thinking, what is she gonna find? What is she gonna find? It's been building up and building up. What is she gonna find? You know. And so it was, but it didn't pay off as much as what I was imagining. But I did enjoy the ending. I enjoyed the finale. I enjoyed just everything about it. All the little scenes that kind of was planting seeds about what's going on here. These little creepy moments, and the murder scenes themselves. You know, quite graphic again, but it wasn't graphic enough to turn me off. Like sometimes, you know, you get these kind of torture porn films where they just go way overboard, you know, and it's just like, oh, it's just horrible, disgusting. But this one just seemed to toe that line where I found it enjoyable and working within the plot, where I'm seeing that whoever is behind this is really getting brutal. They're not just killing people, they're mutilating them. And so you really get invested in what's going to happen at the end. So I love this film. Honestly, I would put this in my top 20 favourite horror films of all time. I really enjoyed it. You know, you can pick it apart for things like the acting or even the dubbing at times, but I just thought it was a really compelling film that really hooked me in, like for the whole duration. The 2 women who played the people in charge at the dance school were very good, particularly the teacher. She was very kind of almost over the top in a way, I suppose, but she had quite a commanding presence on screen. And again, the lead actress, she wasn't amazing, but it was serviceable to what the film was. And I won't go into any spoilers, I suppose, but I really liked where it went and what kind of genre it bleeds over into when we get to the end and what's behind everything. So yeah, Suspiria, is it a film you must see before you die? Absolutely. I really thought that it surprised me, and I really thought that it was a great horror film, one that kind of did things in a little bit of a different way, a stylish way, you know, maybe an overindulgent way, but in a way that it all worked for me, like the whole picture, you know, the music, the cinematography, some great camera angles, you know, some kind of different perspectives and things like that I really enjoyed. It kept it interesting visually, as well as just the lighting and everything, and it just, yeah, really enjoyed this, and I think it is a film you must see before you die because it felt quite unique to me. And maybe again, it's hard to say that, like, oh, this feels like something I've never seen before. You know, I've never seen someone do that before, and then you find out someone did it 10 years earlier, and the person who directed that thing that you think is unlike anything you've seen before was inspired by someone back then. I mean, it just keeps on going and rolling back. But to me, I hadn't seen a horror film quite like it, and so it is a film you should probably see before you die. Unless you're really squeamish, but it's not that bad. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.